So I want to keep this relatively short because I actually don't want to talk about the new map really that much. Just about something I noticed when playing on this map. Still, I'm gonna say the one thing which everyone else already said about this map, which is that the map is gorgeous. It is phenomenal. The level of detail and polishment in this map is chef's kiss. And they couldn't have pulled this off back in like 2018 or something. If this map came out at that time, it wouldn't have looked this way. Due to the fog being taken away from most of the older maps, they start to show their age and level of quality which doesn't hold up towards today's standards. There's also one specific thing, or let's say a major thing actually, which makes me adore this map even more, and that is that it pretty much is an indoor map without being an indoor map. Which means that certain type of killers, like very long distance range killers, kind of suck on this map. And it's very weird because this map is meant to be dedicated towards one of these types of killers, being Trickster of course. But other types of killers, ambush killers or stealth killers, benefit on this map pretty well. Like comparing it to the last map we've gotten is not even fair, because the Walking Dead map wasn't even meant to be a map. It is basically just Greenville again with a tile for a main building. It's not even comparable. And the pizzeria map pretty much to me had the potential to be an indoor map as well. The main building is fun and it takes up half of the map, but it feels like whenever I play on this map that I am not really that much inside of it, which kind of sucks. And the outer half is just Greenville again, but without anything that makes Greenville interesting. But before we get onto the next topic, I have to get the elephant out of the room. That being something I said in my 2026 anticipation video. Though I like the new map in terms of the artistic craft that goes into this map, I think it sucks that it just doesn't come with anything akin towards what I mentioned being unique things like the chemical traps from the Nostromo wreckage, that being like small things that can actually impact the gameplay, which are tied towards the map exclusively. Still, if I compare that towards the last map we've gotten, it feels like this is what it should have been. And in the end, it's just a cool new map for killers that work well with line of sight breakers. So let us play on this new map with one of them. Let me just find the right pick. Wait. That's just one killer. How is there just one killer? Oh, the others are licensed. Ah, okay. I gotcha. It is something that I noticed even before the new map came out. However, the new map pretty much gave me the incentive to talk about it. If you didn't know, pretty early on in DBD's lifespan, DBD was considered to be a hide-and-seek style game, but players found out that it was far more effective to run around tiles to waste the killer's time, and the devs just decided to go with the flow of the community, adapting towards that type of strategy. At this point, DBD pretty much became more of a run and chase style game. This is pretty much the reason why we have so many killers with some sort of projectile or dash built into their kit, and so few, well, ambush stealth killers, and also macro playstyle killers, like trap killers, or whatever Pinhead is. And stealth just isn't made for chases. It is made to give killers an advantage to catch survivors off guard, that being outside of a chase. And I've kind of noticed a pattern in modern stealth killer design. That is that they basically have their stealth more or less of a side grade. Xenomorph as an example. I consider Xenomorph as a stealth killer because when entering their tunnels, they gain undetectable and can freely move around across the map, and can also surprise attack survivors. Yet I think that aspect of their kit takes a backseat compared to the oppressiveness and availability of their chase power. Even more so with Springtrap. Instead of gaining undetectable permanently after using the map traversity tool, the security doors of course, or building up towards it until survivors use the actual counterplay, you only have a bonus of a few seconds of undetectable, making this, well, just kind of like a side gimmick. And on top of that, I think they are also wasting potential, because some horror archetypes can only be expressed in form of, well, stealth killers. A werewolf is not a werewolf if it didn't transform out of a human. My latest video, the Clayface concept, already discussed a type of stealth killer that would deceive survivors. And all being honest, I hoped Krasu would have been such a type of killer. She fitted that archetype just perfectly. Instead, I think Krasu was probably the biggest disappointment gameplay-wise I had with an original killer in a long time. Why don't we step into this territory with our original killers? Is it because stealth is just not that much of an all exciting or flashy out there type ability, like a dash or a projectile type ability? I think it won't hurt that much if one of the newer releases would have more emphasis on their stealth capabilities. And I think many players would also be on board with that. Stealth killers are pretty popular actually. Look at Ghostface and Myers. Myers got deleted, but he's still a very popular pick. And even before the rework, when he got a dash, he was very popular. I also really like facing them, hence their map presence, or their lack of map presence, is what turns a match into an actual horror game. Because, well, they could be right behind you. I just find it so fascinating how most killers that I am facing just make me yawn. Meanwhile, it is Skull Merchant that actually scared me for once. Like, out of all killers, it is the one that is considered to be one of the least scariest looking killers in the game. I mainly do not consider Skull Merchant as a stealth killer, because the main aspect of Skull Merchant is still the area control aspect of her drones, and eventually becoming a trap killer again once she got another big change. But recalling a drone and getting undetectable from that serves more as an alternative playstyle. With that said, this is pretty much the end of the video. I just think it's a little bit of a shame that Behavior doesn't explore the archetypes of stealth killers that we could have in form of original killers. Instead, just going by what worked before could work now and ending up making killers that feel more and more samey. That's it from me. Don't get lost.